somebody who hasn't like seen one of our previous recorded videos, so your background is aerospace
Yes.
engineering, and your day job involves working on planes,
Yep.
and you are also a budding entrepreneur. So,
Well, I think of myself as one, but it's
oh,
just,
conviction, man. So tell us like so I think in this call we do like a preliminary session in terms of radical transparency before the call. So we just kind of set the agenda in 5-6 minutes or less. So today we've decided to talk a little bit about Iwin Energy and the other platform that you've been working on.
it's called
So
Iwin Life.
Iwin Life, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's so I've been working on it lately. Honestly, this is an old project I tried to launch a couple of times with there's no success. No success. Various problems, issues, and things falling short. This time I'm attempting to do it right, do it, do things properly, and make push it as hard as I can on this project. Completely focus on it. So I wrote a small mission statement. So our mission is to connect people with their dreams. We are using technology to find places, people, and opportunity to help our fellow humans fulfill their dreams and win life. Our 5-year goal is to help fulfill at least one dream for every person in the world. So it'll basically, what we're trying to start with is we build two separate apps, one bit focusing on a customer side, where our people side, where it'll allow people to, like build a repository of dreams. Like each person can input it, and like we'll build a centralized database. And so people can be inspired by other dreams as well. And, motivate, find other people who can work together to either, like some goals do need like support and help and, motivation. Some goals need partners to do it. And so that side of it, that side of the app will cover that. There'll be a separate app where people who have businesses that offer experiences or can help some of these people achieve their dreams can list those services or like list those either like free or paid, whichever, like there'll be multiple tiers, as well as people who are interested and who see like, a dream they can help or they want to help with. They can start a new business. This will help a lot of people start new businesses as well. And overall, it'll bring together people with dreams and people who have the opportunity to help together and just make life more happy and fulfilling.
Yeah, well, I shared my initial sentiment with you. That's kind of like it's a weird coincidence. I was talking to Adi, who's one of the folks I met through GitHub, and yeah, I shared like something really similar, like just 2 nights ago. So I've yet to get back to Adi. His name is very similar to mine, but yeah, I was like, I was thinking of it in terms of a wish list. Well, like, like, I don't want to talk about me like too much, but like, tell me more about like the evolution of Iwin. So like, like, because there's a couple of things going on. Like we spoke about the T-shirt, the Energy app, and the Life app. So what's the core distinction, and why did you start this project in the first place?
Well, it started out a long time ago, like around 2014, 2015 in my head. Like I used to watch these YouTube videos of, those GoPro like highlight videos, like these amazing people doing great things, like people jumping off of like mountains on scroll suits or
Okay,
base
right.
jumping,
Yeah, I
like
think
skiing on like these absolute like amazing places.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
like
a
that's
huge
kind of my
GoPro fan, but I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, like I am kind of like I love the videos they used to put out. The people were like, like it inspired a lot of people. And so originally it was supposed to be a video app, so people can share like more videos like that of them doing it, like a video, an app that would allow people to upload a short video, edit it to make it as good of a quality as those highlight videos we usually see. And but like then I started thinking more and more about it. A lot of people have like amazing dreams. They want to accomplish it, but some people don't know how. Some people do lack the motivation or inspiration to like take that first plunge. And so like slowly thinking about it, I thought, what if, we can make it simpler, the hurdle of, like getting started, keeping focus, like easier, so we can build a support structure for them. So like we'll bring together their friends who have similar dreams, and so that people can support each other. At the same time, we can find business and stuff where you can go, like say you always wanted to go skydive. There's skydiving, businesses out there that offer the service. You can go, you can go with a couple of friends, you can enjoy the activity. And that's, that was like my full thought behind it. I tried to build it a couple of times. I tried to do it myself. I tried hiring a couple of people. It different times I had different issues. Never got a full, like, I was focusing on the wrong things. Like we spoke about this before, I was like so focused on building all the features, and so like it would always fall short of stuff. And then what happens is, like technology is moving forward. If you don't build a prototype in a short period of time, if the frameworks you're using, they're all like, like moved on to newer and better stuff. So I was so caught up in this, technology aspect of it, trying to keep up with it. It just spiraled downhill. So right now I'm simply very like focusing on building the bare minimum I can. So it's like, it'll be like a user sign up login, and then literally like you'll be able to a little form that allows you to either add some pictures, a little description of what your dream is, and like it'll like I'll take some metadata from your phone, like locations and stuff. And you'll also have to import friends from either your phone contacts or like Facebook or somewhere, something like that, so that I can, like, if other people have similar dreams, I can connect you with them. And then the separate second app I'll have to build a marketing team to reach out to
Well, let me write this
businesses.
down. I'm listening.
Yeah, a marketing team to reach out to businesses and get them like signed up on this, listing their services, either like some, like, as well as people who are interested who can do it for free. Not every dream has to cost money. So the more the more the less what is it the less barriers there is to fulfill the dreams, the better. So the goal is to like get the barriers as small as possible, like the ease of fulfilling it as quick and easy as possible. So it's going to take a team to build all this. So it's working with the developer at the moment, training them. Uh, Also like trying to find marketing people to get the brand name out, get the mission out, so more people would know about it. This is a networking situation where you do need people support, people helping each other. It's not just a pure, hey, here's, let's take your dream, we'll magically make it happen. That doesn't how it works. It needs people and friends who need to be supportive and motivated and inspiring to, help one another. So
Yeah, so I'm going
at
to
the
chime in
moment,
at this point. So yeah,
yeah.
sorry, finish your thought.
So like, as I said, just I need to focus on marketing, getting the word out, and then building the bare minimum product so that people can start using it. It doesn't have to have everything I talked about today, but just the bare minimum to get people started and get people connected.
Yeah,
And so that's what I'm going to be working on.
yeah, no, like, so I'm going to start in like exactly that order. And like you said, we spoke about this before, and
Yeah.
I've shared my part of my entrepreneurial journey with you, primarily when I worked on my previous startup, Experience Labs. Uh, I'm not saying this applies 100%, like it doesn't translate in your case 100%, but I think like whoever may be listening out there, and if they are a founder, I cannot stress this enough, how important it is to actually validate the idea. Because the mistake I made with my previous startup was I worked on it for more than 2 years, and I did not talk to enough users. And I kind of fell in love with the whole build process because I was learning a lot. I guess that thought is kind of like that reality is balanced with the fact that I didn't take somebody else's money. So You know what I mean? But still, like, I don't have any regrets, but if I could do one thing differently, I would talk more to customers on a daily basis. So the validations piece is so important. And I think still a lot of founders are making this mistake whereby we do not talk to customers, and we have this, it doesn't matter what kind of tech you're using, it's world changing. You have to talk to customers because somebody's going to pay for it at the end of the day. And yeah, I cannot stress that enough. What has happened in the past couple of years, the barriers have gotten low with respect to, like, you know, the no code movement that's kind of taken off. There's like sites like Webflow, Bubble.io, not promoting them, but these are the ones. Recently I found out about Unstack. So you can actually get going with like a very small amount of investment, work with a designer, you know, put like a front face for the business. You don't have to like necessarily go about the route of incorporating and getting an
that's all already done. Like, this is like, I've done all that stuff already for me personally.
But the validation piece is so important, and you don't have to spend a lot of money in order to be like able to validate. I was talking to this lady, Lynn, and she was working on this product whereby her previous product was like spoons, and she replaced plastic spoons with spoons made out of wheat. So they were edible spoons. So she wrapped up this, and she actually sold that company. And now she's working for a new company. She's like in a different vertical with technology, working on staging servers. And she validated the market by first talking to 300 people. And she did it like within 6 months. She's like, that's all I did during that time. I did some, like I've worked on finding a CTO, but I think that's a winning strategy. And no pun intended. Because your name's Ivan. Yeah, but I asked her like how you did that, and she's like, oh, she automated like some part of the initial kind of communication process. But yeah, I can't stress on the validation piece. I would like to like share with you and others Startup School, which is, I think, I really believe is a great resource for all founders. So I don't get anything out of this.
Y Combinator, right?
Yeah, it's supported by Y Combinator. So I've made a introductory video for them because I really believe it's that good, and it's free. So yeah. I don't see a reason why more founders should not be on Startup School. Now, to come back to your idea, what I've noticed is on the entrepreneurial journey, founders typically go through a lot of changes, specifically first-time founders. Like Ben Horowitz would say, there are 3 categories that founders perform the chunk of their activities in: to get a hold over their psychology, to find the product market fit, and to be the inventor and the entrepreneur. But in order to actually get traction on these 3 things, founders have to bring about a lot of changes, big and small. So my question to you is, as that happens for founders or humans in general, we all are bringing about changes on a constant basis, how will your system help them connect with the right people? Because everything's in a flux.
Yeah.
Right? Specifically for founders. So how will they connect with the right folks?
As in, like, to help build the company, or?
Well, so with Iwin Life, you're going to start, you mentioned that initially people are going to start with sharing their hopes and dreams, or something that they really like to see. So as, like, I'm not like getting too much on the tech side of things. I'm just like looking at like more of a broad-based answer with regards to like, what are the metrics you're looking at to be able to connect folks together?
Oh, okay. Yeah. We are 3 things: location, your existing connections, say, like if you know each other through another platform or something else, as well as interest. So if 2 people have a dream with, like, you know, like, we'll do keywords, we'll also be using machine learning to like, based on like what you browse through and stuff. So we'll be taking history and running it through a machine learning algorithm, and try to bunch people together. With the machine learning algorithm, it's like a hit and miss. So we'll make, like, first we'll make educated guesses, And then the more people will like, interact with the system, the more like we'll fine tune on what you like and who you would be best compatible with.
Okay, so
But
yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
but to get started, like we have to dumb it down to the most basic. So it'll be like to start off with, it'll be based on location, your dream, like keywords in your dream, and then your existing connections and people they know.
Okay, so location, dream, and existing connections, and
Yeah.
there's some browsing history element. I don't know how that is going to work, but
Yeah.
so you think like I guess random question, location is really important? I don't know how the whole COVID situation is going to play out.
Honestly, it does. I feel like more people would be interested because they had all this energy and like desire oppressed and kept in a bottle, and then like during COVID, a lot of people felt that need to connect and feel that need to like, hey, I need to make a life-changing decision. I think once we come out of it, more and more people are going to like try to focus on what they want to do instead of what they have to do.
Hmm. That's a really
So
smart point.
yeah, so I think more and more people will actually be willing to help as well because of this shared. Because this is global, as you said before. This is global. Like this is a major like we might not see it yet, but like I mean, we're connecting the like you can only connect the dots going backwards, not you can't see it from now to the future. But like I kind of have this vision,
It depends who
like
you talk to, but carry on.
yeah. But I
If
see
you
it
talk
as
to Kip Thorne, he's going to say the dots connect in the future, if I understand correctly. But
yeah. So
we're
like
not going to talk about physics right now.
yeah, I think people will like want to do more things. I already see a couple of friends, even though it's COVID, they want to do more, so they're actively trying to do more stuff. And so like this whole mentality is going to get even bigger. And I think this is like the right timing to get in. We
Hmm.
built it before COVID ends. We build a minimum viable product. We get it in the hands of people, getting them thinking about it. So once it finishes, it'll be a, like a rocketing up, hopefully.
Well, we spoke about this on the weekend. I totally agree that with the whole COVID situation, like it's my uneducated assumption that a lot of people are actually doing a fair bit of soul searching right now in a secular sense of that, the meaning of that word. It is a time for contemplating, like meaning and purpose and what's really going on. People have more free time on their hands. A lot of things were shut down. So yeah, I think like using that opportunity, it's a good idea to maybe introduce something. Depends on how it's designed, what the intended purpose is. But based on all the conversations I've had with you, you're a person of good values. So I could see, like, again, it depends on how it's designed and what the intended outcome is. And I think the initial design of the products should, I'm kind of got a schizoid take on it. I think it should be a little bit well thought out, specifically with regards to unintended consequences and even things like, not even things like, with things like security and ethics, and think about that up front and how the individual is going to be interacting with your product. What will be the outcome? How will their lives benefit as a result of that? And how will this all be supported? I'm in the capitalist camp, so I believe in an exchange of energy or money or something to be able to provide a quality product and service. So, but yeah, so yeah, I think that there could be definitely, well, we're kind of working on somewhat similar themes here. For me, I'm not sure which angle is going to take. I do want to ask like CubeSat too, like, so is that, like, not to take away from this conversation, is that like ongoing too? Because you shared with me like a prototype you built.
The CubeSat thing is a science project more than a business at the moment. I don't see I mean, the industry is going to be big, but it's kind of like, like the hundreds of people who built computers before, like, computers became a mainstream product. That's how I feel about it at the moment. It's great technology. It's, there's so much opportunity, but there's also a lot technology has to catch up wise, as well as enterprise has to catch up in terms of like, funding and who's going to be the customers. There are like opportunities, but everybody's going into the same opportunity, like ADS-B tracking ships through ship radars, um, weather. A couple of people are doing debris tracking. What else? There's a few, honestly, that's like what most people are using the smaller sized satellites for. There's the Earth imaging. So it's mostly just, simple things, and everybody's going like after the same opportunities.
Okay.
So I don't feel like being one of those bunch. I love the technology, but I don't want to be like, I don't want to be in a field where like I'm fighting for pennies.
Okay, so the market's
Yeah,
contenders saturated space already.
yeah.
But like considering the prospect of opening up the frontier and potentially a lot of resources for the next couple hundred years, I can think like I think this is a theme we should explore more. And like what I'm thinking of is, what if you actually started covering entire celestial bodies with a network of Cubesats, and then you crowdsource the endeavor that previously nation state supported agencies used to do, right? Because I mean, you got to anticipate how the world might adapt and change with regards to what's going on right now. Like I hope, I'm gonna not get into the conversation of the normal and going back to the normal, whatever that means. That's a longer conversation. But I think if there are going to be opportunities, then human cognition, in my opinion, should be redirected towards growing the pie. And expansion through the frontier seems like the ideal opportunity to that in a sustainable fashion. So my question is, are there not, maybe we should do another call about this, but are there not, and it totally, let me know like if you want to do another call about this and go back to talking about Iwin Life. But it just seems like a very big opportunity. And like more recently, I've looked at things like Relativity, and you can share a little bit about nanoavionics with me. Like I didn't get a chance to take a look at their site.
No, they're like one of the leading startups that is building small sats. So they're building anywhere from 3U to like, I believe 36Us. 36U is huge, but they're just keeping the form factor, measuring it using the 1U formats. I mean, they're well funded, but I personally I was going through some of the magazines and newses I had from before the COVID, and even those are like looking at it as a glim, there's not enough orders, there's not enough support in the industry to like support all these startups and all these bustling companies with these ideas, and there's not enough money to cover everybody, which is the issue. And you can build the greatest technology in the world, but if there's no customers, you're kind of left with nothing. Like I was one of the startups I was looking at, I forgot their name, but like I didn't like they were building 3D three-dimensional CAD design and holographic display in the like early 2000s, and they actually built it, but each of the units were like $100,000, and they were marketing it to the medical professionals, and like to them, like they had these amazing technology figured out, but nobody wanted it. And then they ended up having to pivot, give up all that, and pivot to making software for 3D, image rendering and stuff. I mean, they didn't lose the business or anything, but for a long time, like they were focused on building this amazing thing, and they thought like everybody was excited about the technology, but nobody wanted to put the money into it, or say, hey, let me buy 100,000 of these units and I'm going to put them everywhere I can. Like nobody was that excited. People are like, oh my God, it's hologram, you know, it's going to be so cool. It's going to transform the world. Even still, there's not really like, you know, people are still looking at it as a science experiment rather than like, people are more into AR and VR rather than an actual like 3-dimensional holographic display, because it just costs so much money and it's, you know, like it's affected by too many things. And
Yeah, I do hear you on that one. So like maybe there's the two thoughts that pop up in my mind is one around in random order. I'm gonna work backwards, like the Sputnik moment, right? So going back to the first Sputnik moment, like that's I believe that happened during the Cold War, the height of the Cold War. So
yeah,
when the Russians took the first step, all of a sudden humans were like, oh, what? We can actually do this? So like, you know, like whatever happened as in the aftermath, like sending like animals, you started with animals, and I think Yuri was the first guy to enter an orbit, and then just kind of took off from there. And then there was a lull, and now we're kind of seeing it. Well, more recently, SpaceX has been super successful in sending 2 astronauts, and they returned back safely through a private. So I think it's going to register in the public cognition. I just think my uneducated guess is going to take a series of Sputnik moments for it to actually start blossoming. And you know, like it's like somebody in your family does something and then everybody else starts doing it. I don't know if that is a good example, or like somebody in the community does something, you know, somebody's playing golf in the club and then a lot of people are starting to do that. So it's kind of like it's like something mimetic about that. So that's one thing that pops up. The other thing is Bill Gross. So Bill Gross has a TED talk about the number one reason why startups succeed, something like that. And he talks about timing. So timing, I think, is the theme in that talk. I got to watch that talk again. But yeah, I couldn't agree more with timing the products. And we've briefly touched base on that in the past. I still think you like seeing the amount of like, you're very passionate about like space, obviously, and aerospace and building stuff. Do you want to show what you build over the weekend, or don't want to show it?
No, it's not a big deal. It's just a bunch of components put together. It doesn't really do much. It just literally takes the raw, you know, signals that are coming off of. It's not only like satellites, but literally any signal that's out in the air that's being, you know, broadcasted on an decrypted
Unfiltered
format.
Yeah. So what it does, it just picks it and does what with it?
That's it. Just picks it up and shows you a little graph of picking it up.
Oh, so you can actually make a graph of where the frequencies are.
Well, yeah, I didn't really design any of them. These are all pre-built components that are out there. I just bought them, put them together, and kind of just put them in a nicer case.
So it's running on Arduino?
Yeah.
And
No, not Arduino. It's a Raspberry Pi.
Oh, interesting. And you hook up the antenna to it? And what other modules are in there?
It's just an V-pole antenna.
What is that gray stuff, RTL?
That's just it's a SDR, software-defined radio. It's just a receiver. It does not broadcast anything. And I'm just using this with an Ubuntu to get the data. That's about it.
Did you write any like customized software?
No, I'm using pre-built stuff.
So hypothetically speaking, if somebody was to put one of these on Cubesats, then the Cubesats would have potentially a model to be able to send, like, if one signal is not working, like skip through different signals to be able to like broadcast the message it needs to broadcast or receive message on different frequencies. It could just kind of loop through different frequencies to see which one's working.
Yeah, people are working on it. They are trying to make them for Cubesats at, you know, the power level it needs and stuff. They're also working on something called a flat panel antenna, where you don't need these huge antennas. It's basically a little plate with lots of tiny antennas. So they'd have to all, like, you know, have similar frequencies to like align them how they need to go and things.
Interesting.
Like kind of like the little cameras, like hundreds of little cameras on a chip we use on drones and stuff to get detailed images and stitch them together. Kind of like that, but you're broadcasting out using a small flat panel, low profile antenna. It's an up and coming technology. It's not out there yet. There's also people proposing to use lasers. That would technically would be faster. To broadcast information, yeah, to like have a laser pointer and just, you know.
So right now is a lot of radio. Is that what?
It's all radios.
It's all radios. Interesting.
It's all radios.
Yeah, I don't know much about frequency to be able to ask educated questions on that regard, but yeah.
Honestly, I don't either. I'm just learning about a lot of stuff.
Right. What about autonomous, since like probes are like say potentially like on the dark side and the signal is not getting through, so with like say something in a mesh, there may be a need to have like some like communication between the components themselves. Anyone working on that? Would you know?
Not sure. I'm sure there are people. I mean, right now, like the biggest network that we have is the NASA's Deep Space Network, which is not really NASA's Deep Space Communication Network.
Okay. So they work on the like dark side, that kind of stuff?
No, they just get data from, things that are far away.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Like Mars probes and stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Marco was one of the other thing.
Yeah, we're talking about Marco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like a one-time use kind of deal. But, it's a small form factor, specialized design. It worked. As I said, my thing was, that was the idea. We can have a bunch of communications, like little communication specific CubeSats, and then whatever else mission, we make more of them. And so each one has a unique functionality, but they work together as a group to accomplish a mission. So say we wanted to like always have, have the entire 360 communication on to the moon, we'd have to have lots of satellites like relaying, so it'll be on kind of like a ring network.
Dude, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I like to use the analogy of a Cassandra database. It's like my favorite database. What it is it's like there's every node is equal, and they have to work together to figure out where to best store the data and quickly give it to the customer. And it was like an amazing thing when it came out. People aren't as much interested anymore, and then they've gone to the cloud and stuff.
Yeah, I got the gist of the idea. So like if you've got a mesh network around a celestial body, and then
and then
what the purpose of this network is, the
just to communicate.
It's a mesh.
Yeah.
So it would route the data in the ideal kind of direction, so that there's always real-time data going back towards Earth or Moon or wherever the feed needs to go.
Yeah, it'll just piggyback off one another.
Yeah.
And figure kind of like how the internet works. You find whichever like routes available.
Well, I was thinking like peer-to-peer networking actually.
Yeah.
Or maybe very interesting. Cool. So what's next, man? Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So honestly, but though that's like, my science project rather than a business at the moment, because, it's a lot of technology to build, and it's not at the moment, there's not enough money to support a business. So it'll be like kind of like my, me doing R&D and work on it whenever people have interest. They can join in the project. A lot of people lose interest after a while. They leave, I just want to manage it, but it's a side project. Iwin Life is my main project. And like, that's where my energy, money, and everything is going to get focused into.
Something I'd want to push you on, like some of the things you just mentioned, but maybe you should like discuss this prior to doing that in a live recorded session, because know me, like I like pushing people, and I like I like people pushing me in a reasonable format, in a sensible, respectable way. So yeah, I just like relativity is like my uneducated guess is going off topic, but man, I was like, wow, this could change everything, right? So I haven't done a lot of work on the website or spent a lot of time learning about these folks to be able to do justice.
Oh, you mean the rocket company?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tim
Not
is like,
Einstein.
yeah. I was like for
Well,
a second trying to figure out like relative. Yeah, they've been around for a
Einstein
while
changed the
actually.
world
It's like
too.
since 2017, I believe, and they are very well funded. I believe they've had over like 260 static test fires successful. I don't know how many successful, but I believe all of them were successful.
That's a pretty big number.
They don't have an actual rocket built yet. They're just building the engines. But yeah, they're doing.
That's what static ties for, like when you do the fire in
Yeah,
bunkers.
yeah,
Okay,
yep.
gotcha.
You like tie your engine down to a huge concrete structure or a metal structure, and you just test fire. And they're like doing it 100% 3D printed, so it's like and they're just iterating the process until they feel safe enough that the technology is good to put on a live rocket. There's also other company. There's a bunch of companies that are doing it, but Relativity is like the leader in that section.
But
Yeah,
if Relativity takes off, so you got like ULA, Blue Origin, SpaceX, Random Order.
yeah.
ULA last. I don't think that's fair, unconsciously.
I mean, ULA is a great company, man. Like they they're building off of the the knowledge base and the connections from both Lockheed and Martin's. Boeing and Lockheed,
yeah,
both of which themselves are industry giants.
right.
Boeing is huge in every sector. Lockheed is huge in like the military sector, missile manufacturing, all that things. So they're great. But my thing with it, like, the technology, like I believe the technology is going to take off. I just don't want to put my money in it because I see that this, when you think of a commercial airliner, the manufacturer barely makes any money. The airlines barely make any money. The industry is constantly growing, but like nobody's really, making money off of it.
But dude, think of the prospect when this opens up. If we can start building domes on Mars, right? I don't know how the expansion is gonna, like. I'm not talking about like human, and we're not gonna explore like this is a longer conversation with genetics and like Robert Zubrin would say like branches in human evolution are going to be opening up on Mars and other habitats. Without getting into like that conversation, if we just focus on tourism, agriculture, just those two areas to begin with, right? And whatever series of steps are happening on Earth, or mechanism, conscious, unconscious, this whereby we're like destroying the ecology. Like, what if we can put stopgap solutions in place and move a lot of these things off world? Like Jeff Bezos' idea of moving a lot of the heavy industry off Earth, doing it on an asteroid, like maybe an Oneill colony. I don't know what it's going to be, but I would like, I'm not like, we're not doing an opposition here.
No, I like.
I would think there's like trillions and trillions of dollars of potential wealth that can be created between now and the next 20 years.
Probably.
If you have, so once you have like a camp and then you have some autonomous, machines going off and doing their thing, and then you've got like either a ground station on Earth or on Moon, like, like a cluster of networks working together, like to expand the range of what series of activities are possible. And your imagination is the only barrier at that point. So I see a lot of potential for growth, and I don't even know how to calculate that.
Honestly, this is the thing. Like, I see it as 2 points. Like, there's definitely going to be wealth creation, which is like value in stocks going up, value in, like things like that. But I also don't see like physically companies making very like big profit compared to the amount of money they're investing in it. Like, I feel like the ROI is going to be very, very low because the industry is going to because at the end of the day, it's a transportation business. You're moving people from point A to point B. That industry has never been really profitable for a long time. Like shipping industry, like they ship so much material, they're constantly shipping more and more. They're still not making more and more profit. The profitability is declining.
So yeah, well, this is a question of economics. I was when you were talking about car company, I was thinking Tesla, and when you were talking about shipping, I was thinking, what if somebody actually came up with a like port to port fully automated mechanism to be able to do that? That would be a total game changer. Um, like if we keep doing the things that the way we've been doing, you know, like this goes to Peter Thiel, like don't compete clause. I think there's a lot of intelligence and wisdom in that one saying. So yeah, like, but I think I'm agreeing with you that the wealth generation is going to come from expanding the pie, which is going to come from doing newer things. So
Yeah.
I am agreeing with you. I guess we're like, it's a thing of semantics where I'm saying that if the platform does get built, which it is looking like it is built or being built,
Yeah.
final stages of delivery, I guess, then there's a prospect for powering a lot of growth.
Well, definitely there is. And that's what I said. I'm going to wait. I'm going to see how the market's doing, how people are reacting. And then I'm going to figure out where I can be the best, where like I will be the like the market leader where no one can, have a solid, lead where I can build over everybody else that I can constantly maintain. Like I love the idea of Peter Thiel. I'm glad you brought him up because he always says, if you're going to build a business, build a monopoly. Even if it's not a monopoly, like you want to be so far ahead of the competition. Like you can have 1,000 people competing with you, but you want to be so far ahead in technology, in customers, in customer service, kind of like Amazon or Google. And like that's the kind of business I want to build, not an airline or not a manufacturer, like an aircraft manufacturer like Boeing, where like there's only like two major, you know, manufacturers of aviation airplanes for commercial purpose at least, and it's Boeing and Airbus, and still nobody seems to be able to make enough profit, and they're constantly needing more money pumped in and more money pumped in. So like I don't want to build a business that's going to be like that because that's going to fail. If I'm going to build a business, I want it to be long-term, reliable. Everything else, like I truly believe in building technology. That's why I'll do it as a science project. I'll work on things. I'll figure things out.
So
But
this is, oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, that's it. That's about it.
Oh, that was a good ream of thoughts. I totally didn't want to interrupt that. This is where like Diamandis would come in, and I learned a lot by listening to both Thiel and Diamandis. Probably listen more to Diamandis, and I kind of keep going back and forth on Thiel. Like I've listened to him, stop listening to him, and then go back and listen to him more. And some of the stuff he says is like more recently, I watched one of his master classes and with Reid Hoffman. He's like a talk on YouTube. There's like some really solid stuff in there. But like to go back to Diamandis, like if you like take the essence of what Diamandis is saying, it is like right on the money. Like a lot of these predictions are coming true, and small teams do have the capacity to be able to take on massive endeavors today and move fast and in a like sustainable sense, not like a crazy sense, in a bad way sense, but make an impact. And like stuff like Relativity, Tesla started as a very small endeavor going back like 20 years or something like that.
Yeah, but it also took them 8 years to make the first car. Close to.
Yeah.
4 years. 4 years.
Yeah.
4
So
5
again,
years.
timing,
Yeah.
timing, and there's a combination of things.
Yeah.
But I think I would see that there's like opportunity for innovating in like virtually every vertical. I think what we should do is pick the area that we want to be active in for reasons that we are going to define. I haven't thought about this too much, but like it's hard to like articulate how, like where that real the real why, like what defines the why. And anyways, I don't know if I'm making sense. Like structured these thoughts in my mind too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so going into the area that one really wants to be active in, should be, for me it's a little different because I'm like crazy in the sense that I'm willing to stick around for like 100 years to make that happen. I'm willing to make the sacrifices even to manifest that vision. It's not like an ego thing. It's just the prospect of things improving over the longer term, that really matters to me, because like my daughter and future generations are going to live in a better world. So that's like a big part of my why. But anyway, so without going off topic, so this was a good chat, man. I wanna go back and like talk more about like in the next chat we can talk more about what's going on with Iwin Life.
Yeah.
And you can update me where you're at, what you need help with. But like before, like, cause I'm on the non-paid version of Zoom. What do you need help with right now?
At the moment, I need to put together a team for both developing the app as well as marketing it. I'm just working on that, trying to reach out to people. I have an office in India. I need to like completely like, well, not like demolish it, but like, repaint it, make it look nice, make it look high tech. Like there's a lot of power problems and stuff. So I'm gonna have to install inverters and clean up the office. It's an old office from an older, different times. I need to modernize it.
Did you start that in India yourself? You went there and started this?
Oh no, it's my dad's building.
Oh,
I'm just taking a floor of it.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Your dad's got a business enterprise there, and
yeah,
subleased it from him. Why not?
Yeah, I mean the space is sitting empty, so I'm using it as my office.
Interesting. Well, it sounds like a problem there with the power. I was talking to a friend of mine from East Africa. You're saying there's same issues with power around East Africa.
Well, I mean, I have inverters and stuff, so it's just hooking up a bunch of batteries and charging it up and discharging it, and so it evens out throughout the day, so it's fine. It's workable. It's not like so bad that I'm gonna run out of power it's manageable.
I met the like a scientist actually, who is now an entrepreneur from the Australia region. They're working on some software for a distributed grid, if that's like something of interest to you. Not to distract you,
Not really.
Iwin Energy and Cubesats.
Yeah.
It seems like a big market though. Like I think energy is going to be a huge area.
Well, Tesla's already in it.
Yeah, but I don't think Tesla is going to be able to scale the entire world by themselves. So they're going to be working with others, and they're probably going to be contracting the sub problems in this arena. So who knows?
Yeah,
so
I'm just trying to focus on this.
And marketing folks and business folks.
Yep.
To take Iwin Life to the next stage.
Yep.
And are you talking to customers again?
Not yet. I need to. That's why I'm trying to figure out who exactly my initial customer is. Like the college market is where everybody's going after. I don't know if I should jump on that same pie or go after a little bit more mature like people.
You're working on the canvas?
What is that, man? It's disappearing. Can't see anything.
I know, magic, man. Is the business model canvas? Jeez.
I still can't see anything. You can just send me the link.
Oh, you're right. You got to work. You got to map your journey in a canvas.
Oh.
That's you can play it back as script. You'll see like which vertical needs, like where this problem needs to be solved the most. Where's the pain being felt most acutely?
Right, that I do need to figure out. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's taking time, man. You got to prepare for your interview tomorrow.
Yeah, well, no, I'm more concerned about the recording just ending.
It won't. You need to have over 100 people for it to end at 40 minutes.
Oh, wow. I learned something new today.
I don't know why. Like, I always want to correct you on it, but never do. Like, let me just leave it alone.
Why? Why
do you run
down these things, man? You should totally correct me.
I don't know.
Oh, why do I give that impression that you should not be correcting me?
No. It's just like, certain, like, is it worth trying to correct somebody over something?
Totally, man. Constructive feedback.
Not everybody wants it.
I'm all for it. If it helps me improve. Then...
Well, I'm also working on this thing that I end up lecturing people on things. I'm like taking it easy, relaxed, and I'm not teaching anybody anything.
Oh, yeah, I could never see like I never noticed that. But if you did, I would be totally.
Well, I don't lecture you all day, but I lecture other people, and so I need to stop.
Well, hey man, if you've got constructive feedback and it's gonna help me improve, I'm all for it. That's
All right.
how I learn and grow. All right. So good luck with the candidate search. I would encourage you to join Startup School. I would encourage you to join lunchclub.ai, and I would encourage you to, do those two, because there are other resources which I haven't made use of as much. And dude, I totally think you should keep talking to folks in the, like seeing like what opportunities like exist in the CubeSat area. And maybe instead of like just talking to folks, not to distract you, but
yeah,
you should talk to folks in different like segments to be able to see
industry,
where problems exist, whereby you can come in and provide a quality solution. I don't know where it's going to be, but there's tons of opportunity, and I think that's like also a huge area of passion for you. So I'm not trying to distract you saying do two things at the same time.
Yeah.
Pick and choose which one matters the most to you, if that is the strategy you wish to take, and go from there. But anyway, so great chat. I'm glad we got a chance to connect.
Same.
Sorry about the background noise.
No, it's fine.
I'll talk to you next week.
All right, bye.
Yeah, you call me if you need anything.
Yeah, we'll do.
All right, man. Have a good one.
See you later. Bye.
See you.